The 2022 Formula One season has produced many unique situations. Ferrari back up top again, dominating with the performance of this new car. Red Bull also up top as competitive contenders for the title, but they do have some serious reliability issues, which I believe they will fix down the road. I mean, you got Mercedes, who is struggling very bad. I don't even think they're the third best team on the grid. I think Alpine is, and Mercedes has their work cut out for them. And but they're gonna get things going in the right direction. You just got to be patient with them. But if all of that wasn't anything to you, today's topic is, because there is a rumor floating around the paddock that a driver swap is going to occur, but the time of when that will happen is unknown. And today I'm here to talk about that, so kick back and relax, and let's get started.
Hey, it's Ricky Stenhouse Jr. here at Kroger, and you're watching William Blackwell on YouTube.
Going into the 2022 Formula One season, there were a lot of unknowns for both drivers and teams, and one of those drivers being Daniel Ricciardo. Daniel Ricciardo raced majority of his career, let's say at Red Bull, and he was competitive there, and he eventually decided to move elsewhere, and that was Renault, and he was also competitive there, but it took some time. The year of 2020, I believe, was his best year in the machinery, and eventually he went to McLaren, and since then he has got one win, and that was one of the only wins McLaren has had in the last handful of years. So he went into 2022 in the shadows of Lando Norris. Lando Norris is the team's #1 driver, and Daniel Ricciardo might not like that. So you would expect things to be on the edge for the 2022 season, and so far things kind of played out that way. Lando Norris is dominating. He is acing this car. The car was nowhere near a podium place in Imola, but Lando Norris made it happen. And Daniel Ricciardo does not like that. He feels uncomfortable. And the only way to go about this is making him comfortable and swapping him with someone else. So he's definitely not going to go to Red Bull. Max Verstappen, no way. Sergio Perez, I would say no way, but I don't know. I've seen crazy things happen, so we're just going to mark out the top two drivers. Now we're going to look at AlphaTauri. Yuki Tsunoda. This one right here could be interesting. He does have the potential, but also he does have the potential of damaging many vehicles. So you really can't rule out Yuki Tsunoda. But you do have Pierre Gasly, who entered the 2022 season on the little edge where he was very nervous heading into the season because he wanted to get the promotion, but he didn't know what it had to take for him to get it. Did he have to win? He didn't know. So he was very anxious, and he was willing to give up at this point. He was willing to move elsewhere and continue on with his Formula One career for the 2023 season and beyond. But today, that might come to an early end for him and his tenure of Red Bull and AlphaTauri, because the rumor is around the paddock that Daniel Ricciardo, the driver of McLaren, is going to get swapped with Pierre Gasly, the driver of AlphaTauri. And if this were to happen, the new teams will look like you got Lando Norris at McLaren and then Pierre Gasly at McLaren. That sounds very weird. It's going to take some time getting used to if this were to happen, which there are a lot of reliable sources stating that this will happen. So keeping my fingers crossed that it don't happen. We got like Ricciardo with McLaren. I just like the content they produce and the merch, of course. But man, it's gonna probably happen. Christian Horner loves himself some Daniel Ricciardo, and he can't put him into the top machinery, but he can put him in the sister team ride and AlphaTauri. That will make a lot of sense. And Pierre Gasly going into McLaren, him and Lando Norris are going to get along just fine. But that's the first thing going on. There are also a couple of things here and there that, like, Alfa Romeo might get rid of Zhou Guanyu and send him over to Williams as Latifi becomes the team's reserve driver, and Theo Purser goes and races for Alfa Romeo. Definitely not going to happen. Do not believe that. And but I did see one interesting thing though involving Williams F1. That could be that Alex Albon and Pierre Gasly get swapped. I've seen that brought up a handful of times, but I think the thing that's probably going to end up happening is Pierre Gasly will get swapped to McLaren for Daniel Ricciardo. Very interesting times we're living in, and neither of them rides are race-winning competitive rides, but something different, and I think both drivers, if this were to happen, will succeed because they're very talented. But everybody, though, remember to please like and subscribe and comment down below your opinions about this driver swap that may occur, because it's very intriguing. And you got the new season, new car, anything can happen. But comment down below, and I want to read them. But please like and subscribe.